So I am in white rock heaven right now, back here in the back of this canyon that I visited last year, but only made it so far. I didn't hike all the way back into the back here. And I thought, I need to go back there. I need to hike into the actual back, the very back of the canyon, and see what's actually back there. And well, it's pretty fantastic. Got my camera set up this way. I'm going to show you what I'm shooting here in a minute. But here is the back of the canyon back here. These giant white chunks of rock. It's all fallen off of these cliff faces here. The sun setting over here in the west is reflecting off of this kind of like coral, salmon colored, and a little bit of white in this cliff face here. And all of that warm pink, there's an echo, all of that, that warm salmon kind of color is all bouncing back over this way. And you can see a little bit of it. I don't know if the GoPro is going to be able to pick it up, but you can see some of that pink and some of that salmon color in the rocks here, and you can see it being reflected here, and it's also in here. So there's a really nice soft fill light. All the light is bouncing off of that. It's coming back over here. It's not direct light, but I'm okay with that because, as you can see, the direct light is very, very harsh right now, very contrasty, and that would not be fun. It's a lot bushier than it was last year. Utah must have received like a lot of rain in the spring and summer or something, because it was not this thick with all these thorny green and yellow bushes, which I do not like. This stuff is not fun to hike through. Turn up the brightness. That's probably a little too much. That's the composition right there. So I'm shooting this vertically because I want to get this here and these rocks here in the foreground, and then up into these white rocks over here, and then up into the background, into the canyon back there. And there's this nice, actually it's kind of hard to see from there. There you may be able to see a little bit easier. There's a nice little opening, a little break that just kind of follows right through right there. My God, these rocks, these giant chunks of white rock are just amazing. This is just it's just my first attempt here. I'm not sure what else there is here. All right. I made a video a while back on my channel about one of the most important rules that I learned about photography. And that rule being, when you're not exactly sure what it is you should be photographing, when everything is an opportunity and you're looking to narrow your choices, pay attention to what the light is doing. Just look and see where there's light, see what is being illuminated, and that is how I'm finding stuff like this right up here. This beautiful setting sun illuminating the side of this ridge right here, giving it a nice edge light. This is another place I haven't been to before, and this is in the back of another one of these canyons here. And another one of those places I was curious about. It's like, wonder what's back there. Well, now I know. See this one little white rock right here? There's something really I don't know, kind of fragile about it, especially because of how small it is compared to, the size of these looming boulders overhead. And that's something. I think I'm going to try capturing that over there while the light is still working in my favor. It's a little bright, but man, it is just beautiful pastels, beautiful coral and salmon colors in these white rocks here. And I think that by bracketing my exposure, as you may have just noticed, that I'll be able to balance out some of the tones later. Oh, I'd fall off this hill when I blend everything back together. Yeah, we'll see. So that was fun. Just hiked across a few more ridges there, up and down to get over here. And now, looks like we're just about there. From a photography perspective, you can look at this and say, well, it's all looking a little gray, a little flat, because there's no direct light. And you would be right. At least not right now. Oh shit. But my hope is that that doesn't hold true for the whole evening. It's not totally overcast. There are some pockets in here. And to me, that says that there's a chance that sometime later, the sun may break through. This is unreal. I love this down here. That green and white little area there. I don't know what's going on there, but that's interesting. There's more of this green over here. I don't know. I wonder what that is. But most of this is a white sandstone. Very brittle, very delicate. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Man, this is great. Look at the red and the orange on this rock here, contrasting against that green behind it. God, it looks like an asteroid or like a meteor that crashed down here. I just love these colors. Check out the orange and the green and the white. I love these. Oh man, these rocks are awesome. Seriously, it looks like a meteor crashed and split apart. Oh wow. Okay, we got to come out here now. Hopefully this will come through on a GoPro. Oh wow. That is something else. Oh, and the colors. Just love this green. It's a really unexpected color. Very unusual. Oh, this is really cool. Check this out over here. It's almost like a layer cake or something. You have the white sandstone underneath, and then that green slate-like rock, whatever it is, on top of it. Oh, this is really nice over here. Love that. Oh, God. The only thing that... it's almost like a landscape like this. I'm trying to be really careful where I step here. Just look at this for a minute. That is pretty awesome. Really nice. Be great to get all of that in one shot. What I was about to say was, the only thing that, kind of concerns me about something like this is, sometimes I feel like when I'm in a place that's really fantastic, that is, has so much opportunity and so much that could be done, sometimes I kind of tense up a little bit and get a little anxious about it because I feel like it's one of those things where sometimes no matter how good the photograph is that you take, sometimes it just doesn't do the job of capturing what the place was actually like and capturing, you know, what it was that you saw with your own eyes. You know, it turns into one of those, well, you had to be there kind of things. And that's totally not what I'm after. Like I'm hoping to take some good images, some beautiful images that speak to the uniqueness and the character of this place. And that's really all I hope for. And it starts getting rather intimidating after a while, where it's like, oh my God, I hope I can get at least one good image here that I can be happy with. Such beautiful lines and shapes and patterns in this sandstone here. This is part of the reason why I'm trying to be so careful walking around here, because I don't want to put like a big footprint in the middle of that, because that's just, I mean, that takes multiple lifetimes to create something like that. Wow, it is really wonderful. Well, this has been a really, really beautiful morning. I did not expect it to be this beautiful at all. Last night it was stormy, it was rainy, it was really, really windy, and it was a little wild. So I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, unfortunately. But this morning, the storm has passed. The clouds are still here. But we're getting just this like dappled light, and the light, even though the sun is rather high off of the horizon right now, it is being diffused by the clouds, and there's all these little pockets and holes in the clouds where the light punches through every once in a while. So I'm getting a little extra time to be photographing this morning, which is great. And as far as where I'm at, this is Glen Canyon. This is the Glen Canyon Recreation Area, which is such a weird name. I mean, it sounds like you would expect there to be like swing sets or like a playground here or something, but they call it a recreation area because you can camp here. You can actually, like, I think you can bring like an ATV here. I assume you can, because I see like tire tracks around here, which honestly I'm not the biggest fan of, being someone who likes a pristine looking landscape. I'm sure it's fun. I'm sure people have a great time, but it's not really for me. Anyway, yeah, I mean, this landscape is so fantastic. And it's not just because of the subject matter and the epicness of it, but it's also because of the color contrast, because you have this deep, like gray blue color that's in the ground here. You have this yellowy kind of lighter color over here. The sun's starting to punch through again. And then, of course, you have the boulders, the orange boulders, and the color contrast between the blue and the yellow and the orange. All of it balances out, and it creates just really, really wonderful color contrast in the image. Part of the reason why I wanted to come here was purely for my own safety, because I'm staying in an RV right now, camper van, and because of the storms that were coming in last night, I didn't want to get caught on some backcountry road somewhere, and where it would get really muddy, and then I wouldn't be able to get out. So I decided to come here because there's a nice like gravel area up by the main road that you could stay at, and it's not the most glamorous, it's not the prettiest, but it'll do, and it'll at least keep me out of the mud. So I stayed there, and I really didn't expect to come here and to do photography because I was focusing on other places. So I was feeling a little meh, you know, when I came here, because I was like, well, I've done this so many times, like I've photographed it so many times. But the thought that occurred to me when I got here and I started photographing was that even though the landscape may not change, there's no question, the landscape really does not change. I mean, this landscape here is like dinosaur age. It's like millions of years old. Even though the landscape doesn't change, I have changed. My eye has changed. So even though it may be the exact same subject matter, what I'm finding is that like I'll look at something, I'll be like, yeah, I've photographed that a bunch of times before, I'm not really interested in that. But then something else will catch my eye. Something else will catch my eye over someplace else, and I'll think, that actually looks pretty good. I'm not creating the same images I was before. I'm creating newer ones. You know, at least, you know, this is me talking to myself. You know, something that's good to remember is that you know, even though you've been to a place multiple times over and over again, when you're in a landscape that has as much variety and diversity as this, it's endless the number of photographs that could be taken here. I think it's probably just a question of time, just giving some time and some space between trips. Because again, it's been a couple of years since I've been here. And, you know, now I'm able to come back and I can see it and have a different perspective on it. And, yeah, it's just really, really wonderful. Check this out this way, over here. I don't know if you'll be able to see that too well on a wide angle, but oh, it is glorious. Wow, what a beautiful morning. This is great. Thanks to Epidemic Sound for providing all the music and sound effects in this video. Check out my favorite tracks at Epidemic Sound using the link in the video description below. And while you're there, sign up for a free trial to get all the music and sound effects you need for your next video.